So good morning and welcome to the latest webinar on the Lifelong Learning platform. I'm Toni Brunning, I'm on the project board for the Lifelong Learning platform, and today I'm going to just demonstrate to you personal activity. The platform that I'm using today is an iPad, so when I click on the things you won't actually see where I've clicked, so I'll try and be as descriptive as possible as to what it is I'm clicking on. So hopefully you're all familiar with the dashboard that the learner sees now. What we're going to focus on today is the sort of middle column, which is adding new entries. We're going to look specifically at personal activities and personal reflections. So as you can see in the middle column, the second one down is personal activities. If I click that button, I get the opportunity to add a title. So say, for example, this activity, I want to say that I attended ALS course. I can then select which type of activity that is, and I'll just go through these quite slowly. The fields here are designed for use for both consultants, non-training grades and trainees. So there's things here about advising or academic work, ARCP documents, sessions, demonstration of leadership, various things, examining, further education, you can upload logbook summaries to it, management activities, other, which you can obviously upload anything you like, patient feedback, personal and professional development, if you've given a presentation or a project, publications, any quality improvement work you might be doing, supervisory meeting and teaching. So for this one, I'm going to say this was for my personal and professional development. As I scroll up, you can see here, so say I went on this course on Thursday. The end date is optional and I can put details in if I want to. I can then link it to any curriculum competencies. So for in this example, it would be nice to link this to management of cardiac arrest. So I can find that there. And then from the competence, I can see the learning outcomes for this module and the knowledge, the skills and the behaviours that the curriculum lists as part of this module. So say here, recalls that describes adult and paediatric life support. I'm going to add that as a competence, and that's the only thing I want to link to this activity, but I can link more if I want to by clicking return to the curriculum. Then I can link to different modules or returning to assessment, which allows me to continue to finish the entry. If I wanted to, I can add supporting documents. So say I had a PDF version or a JPEG of my ALS certificate, I could upload it here. You can just see here, when you click it, these are the different file types that it will accept. So XLS, docs, PowerPoints, PDFs, JPEGs, etc. You can describe it if you want to, and that will be clearly how it's seen in the document store. But I'm going to return because actually I don't want to add any documents to this assessment. And then I've got two options. I can either return to the dashboard and save it as a sort of standalone activity, or I can save the activity and add a reflection. So I'm going to say I'd like to just save changes and return to the dashboard because I don't want to necessarily reflect on this. So that's how you can add a personal activity. Personal reflections can be done in a similar way. As you saw from the previous screen, you do have an option after you've added an activity to reflect on it straight away, or you can add standalone reflections. So I'm just going to add one more activity and show you how you would go about reflecting on a specific activity. And after that, I will show you how to add just a reflection on its own. So say I'm going to add an activity, Learning from Excellence report. And that was, somebody filled that in about me and they said I was a good leader. So I'm going to click Demonstration of Leadership there. And I'm going to click the date that it came about. And then I can say, I can provide details. If I want to, I can add the curriculum competencies, which I'm not going to do for this example. Supporting documents. Now here I could add a copy of the incidents report, the Learning from Excellence report, as evidence, if I wanted to, in a similar way that I showed you in the previous activity. I then get an option about whether this is visible on my ESSR or not. And this is really about whether you want your ARCP panel to see it. So if you click yes, it will be visible on all ESSRs that you generate, and that will mean that anybody who is your panel assessor for your ARCP will be able to go in and see the information. If you click no, it won't appear on your ESSRs for your ARCP or your supervisor reports, but it's important to note that your supervisor, who has kind of overarching access to your portfolio, will still be able to see the activity. So it's not hidden completely, it just means that the ARCP panel won't be able to see it if you click no. I'm quite happy for the ARCP panel to see this, so I'm going to leave it on yes. And then I'm going to click Save Activity and add a reflection. As you can see, I've now got a personal reflection and a reflection on my Learning from Excellence report. But if I want to, I can give it a separate title as well. So I might say, Reflection on my own communication . I can then type anything I want here, so review exactly what happened. Again, we would advocate not adding any patient identified information in these reflections. I can detail the experience gained, the resulting change in my practice, and any other comments that I want. And then I can save it and return to the dashboard. If at that point I decided I didn't want to reflect, I could click Delete Reflection, and that would delete the reflection but not the activity that I've previously added. So far I've showed you how to add a standalone activity without reflecting, how to add a activity and then reflect on it. But if I wanted to not add an activity and just add a reflection to my account, then again, under New Entry in the central box, if I ticked Personal Reflection, I can then reflect anything I want. So I can review what I've done, again the experience gained, and finally the resulting change in practice. If I want to link it to a curriculum competence, say there's something specific about my reflection that I want to link, and remember there's the non-clinical units as well. So for this example, I'm going to link to the teaching and learning because I've talked about my webinars that I've been holding. You can see there, I can click it. Here we go, what about that one? And I can link as many curriculum competences as I want to that reflection if I want to. I'll just go through this a bit slowly. And then if I click Return to Assessment, that takes me back to finish the reflection. So now I'm happy that what text I've written in my reflection, my review, my experience gain and my resulting change, I've linked my curriculum competence and I can now save it and return to the dashboard. So that's the end of this webinar on personal activities and personal reflections. If you have any questions, you can email lifelong@rcoa.ac.uk for further information, and there will be more webinars available on YouTube shortly. Have a nice day.